Hey everybody, John Reap here. You're about to watch and or listen to episode 31 of Country-ish, and this one is Guten Tag. Comedian Jim Norton zooms in, and in small town news, a Louisiana guy jumps into a fish tank at a Bass Pro Shop, and I answer some letters from Russia. It's good. Guten Tag.
Just a country boy, and he's making it good. He was Shaw's underdog, dressed in overalls, living next to the woods. He liked to eat the sushi, but he don't even fish. Not so much a country boy, it's more like he's country-ish. Moved out of Hickory and headed for Southern Cal. Wound up in TV and film, making popsicle proud. Now this country boy is back with his family. Got himself a podcast, he knows it'll last, cause he's in Hickory.
Yeah, baby! I am in Hickory. And I'm happy about it. I'm healthy, and I hope you're healthy and happy and having a good day or evening or whenever you're listening to this or whatever time it is. Hope you're good. John Reap here. I'm the host of this podcast, and, we're everywhere. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Wherever you get your podcast, you can find us. We're a big deal. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm in Hickory with my friends and my family. And I get, basically one person in here at a time on the count of the COVID and everything, even though we're fine. But we're going to obey by the rules. Let's see here. So sitting at my, you're a little further north this time. I want to say.
Am I clockwise?
Yeah. You're like at 113. Mm-hmm. You're normally, so sitting at my 113. Very tall guy. I'm trying to think, like a 3-story building. Probably it's like a 15 feet, 7 inches.
1 story's 15 feet.
1 story's 15 feet. Well, you're like 45 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we filmed this on the 3rd floor of a building here in Hickory. Anyway, we dug a hole. He's standing in the basement, and very tall guy, man of mystery, southeastern man of mystery. Guy we call Sebastian.
Yeah.
There he is.
There I am.
How you doing? I like that you're supporting the swag.
Yeah.
Looks good on you. Let's tell everybody right now, you're basically a model.
I'm a model.
Price is Right now has male models on it?
I'm disappointed with that.
I didn't even know. I was just happened to randomly be watching it.
We do not need equality there. We're fine. Are you mad about that?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Is that
either.
sexist of me?
Well,
I don't know. You're taking a job of some poor, beautiful girl who should have had that job,
exactly.
And now some douchebags there.
Yeah.
I'm not tuning in for him. No. Drew Carey's all the eye candy I need. No, but that's weird. So you're my male model.
Thank you.
You got the country-ish hat on, like me. Got a country-ish T-shirt. All these things that you can get all these things too. Many ways you can get them. You go to countryishpodcast.com, click on the merch. I think it's merch or store, and you can get hat, T-shirt, koozie.
We got it.
You got everything. I didn't even see the koozie there.
Look
yeah.
at there.
You can get a ginger beard mask.
Those.
Yeah. Those are hilarious.
Those are hot sellers.
I'm starting to see people posting up lots of different places with these masks on, tagging me in photos. There's one I saw of a little kid wearing it.
Yeah.
Pretty scary looking. Went to the bank today. Teller said, I need a mask. So now if you go to United Bank here in Hickory, don't be surprised if you don't see a teller with my face on it. With blonde hair and nice big boobs. So anyway, all that stuff you can get right there. Check it out. Boom, bang, bang. You can support the podcast. You can help us. But we got a nice great big show for you today. John's Journal, Russian Letters, comedian Jim Norton, and Small Town News. Stick around for that. But why don't you and I catch up a little bit? How you doing?
Fantastic.
We just had a fun night here in the studio. We did a telethon.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a Jerry Lewis style telethon, and if you didn't see that, it's on my Facebook page still, and it might be on YouTube later. I think, Alan, we might make it a YouTube video as well.
Yeah, we'll put it on YouTube here shortly.
Yeah, so at some point you can see like 45-minute long fake telethon that we did to sort of raise awareness for the podcast and also the support page, Patreon page. And might as well give some shout outs now because we got new members on the Patreon page. That's like a support page where you can join up and donate money and get, merchandise and perks and all kinds of stuff. And in return, we give you shout outs. And anyway, so the new members, Samantha Dawn Kingston. Remember that name?
Oh.
She sends stuff all the time.
She does.
I knew it was just a matter of time before we got her on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Samantha Dawn Kingston. She is a executive platinum member. I believe that is $50 a month, Alan. I know we didn't.
Or is it Executive Zirconia?
My bad.
Yeah.
Executive Zirconia. I apologize. So she's at the Executive Zirconia level. And then we got another guy named Jackson Calhoun.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a good cowboy name.
That is a good cowboy name. I mean, I could see him in a Western with Clint Eastwood. Old Jackson. He's like the old heel of Clint Eastwood. Jackson Calhoun's going to give it to him. He's at Pewter Pro. Thank you, Jackson. And Aaron Welch, Rhinestone level. We love all of you. Appreciate you doing that. Might as well go ahead and show them that page while I'm talking about it, Alan. So if you go to country-ish-podcast.com, you'll see there's all kinds of links, brand new website. Click on support, and when you hit support, that takes you to the Patreon page, and you can sign up right there. We've got different levels. Like I said, I told you Mark Hunt would call me as soon as I started talking. Hey, Mark, I'm ignoring your call. Ignore. Okay. So you've got the Rhinestone level. That's $5 a month. You get a shout out, and you get to watch this live, right? Then you've got the Pewter Pro level, $25 a month. Shout out, watch us live, merch pack. Just told you about that. Executive Zirconia, $50 a month. Shout out, watch us live, merch pack, ginger beard mask, and a cameo. That's where you write a message, we say it, we send it to you, video message. You getting married, you want me to wish you, good luck. You getting divorced, you want me to say congratulations. You got a birthday coming up, whatever it is. I mean, I'll do it, we'll do it, anybody here will do it. And then the big one is Platinum Elite. That's $100 a month. You get all that other stuff, but you also get to be a guest on the show. Come in here and talk about whatever you want to talk about, your business. You got a small business, you want to come in here. It's like an advertisement, really. So anyway, that's at the website. All right. Now, telethon. Good times.
We had fun.
For 45 minutes, I wore a tuxedo.
That was fantastic tuxedo, too.
Yep.
Cummerbund was amazing.
Thank
I forgot
you.
to tell you.
Okay.
I forgot what a cummerbund actually was, but I like it.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you prefer, vest or cummerbund? For you.
Vest.
For you, vest.
For me, vest.
Why is this?
I look pretty good in that. It's 6
You-
foot
right.
4 in a vest.
It's a body
cummerbund, but cummerbund can hide the gut too now. That's a good thing.
That's why I do cummerbund.
Oh, you know.
Vest might actually hide chest muscles. It would show off arms
Yeah.
if you didn't have a jacket on.
Yeah.
Cummerbund
Glad you've thought this out.
covers up the gut.
Covers up
Yeah,
the
I
gut.
like the way I look at that. I guarantee it. Thank you, Men's Warehouse. They're not a sponsor, but you should be. Platinum Elite level. Come on in here. So we had a good time doing that. We had all these guys, everybody from the podcast, plus Keith and Julie, and Conspiracy was here.
Conspiracy showed up.
My Mimosa came.
Yeah, she was great on the phones.
She was really good. She was taking notes.
Yeah.
We're gonna let them in on the joke.
Okay.
The joke is there was no phone number. I wanted to give the illusion of an old school Jerry Lewis style telethon, and in order to do that, I needed people behind me on phones, like a big phone bank, taking phone calls. And But, of course, there's no number. We didn't have it hooked up. We just wanted it to look like that. So when we went live on Facebook, all these comments were like, where's the number? Where's the number? Where's the number? And these guys did a great job of pretending that you're on the phone. I told you guys, I said, look, go to YouTube. There's a video that is nothing but a rotary phone ringing for 12 hours. Or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, and it felt like 12 hours.
I said, everybody just play that video when I give you the little cue, and each person with a cell phone just played it. So all you heard was phones ringing, and you guys are like, yeah, a Country-ish podcast, yes. And it was great. We pulled it off. Yeah. It looked really cool. We showed the Goodwill gifts. Mm-hmm. And we got some new Patreon members out of it. So really it was just a fun way of doing that. I think we're going to do maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. A few times. 4 times a year. Each quarter. We're going to do a live thing.
Something.
It may not be that elaborate, but we're going to do a live thing every year to get the people on Facebook, look, dude, I know you follow me on Facebook, but why aren't you listening to the podcast? So if we put something on there for them, maybe they'll see it. You know what I mean? So anyway, thanks for doing that. What was your favorite part of that whole thing?
I love Julie's clogging, and then you trying to match it.
Yeah.
Pretty good job there. Yeah. Pretty good job.
Yeah, I think that was the highlight. Julie clogging was the highlight. Justin Clyde Williams playing the song was great.
Playing the theme song, he was good.
Just the Q&A with the
and enjoying Julie's reaction after that she just won Dancing with the Stars.
She was so happy because someone left her a nice comment
about her legs.
Someone said, "You go, girl. Those are great legs," and with all these emojis.
Yep.
And that's all you need to make. That's all you need to do to make somebody happy.
That's exactly right.
So whoever did that, thank you for that. You made Julie's day. And I'm proud of myself for coming up with 2 new nicknames for you.
Yes.
I mean, you've got too many nicknames already, but I gave you another one because you got 2 phones.
Oh yeah.
I called you Two Phone Sean.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And then 2 Truly Julie.
2 Truly Julie.
Yeah, it just takes 2 Trulies for Julie to start clogging.
Yeah.
But that was a good time. So anyway, if you were a part of that, thank you. If not, get on it. What else happened? I got my hair cut since the last time we podcasted.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot left, but I am going for sort of a mullet.
Mullet style.
I do have the hair in the back. I put stripes in here.
Yep.
So that happened. That was Wes, our friend Wes, who's been on the podcast a long time ago. No, Mark. Mark has to know I'm recording a podcast right now. Why is he calling me? God, I hope you watch this one. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Oh, now my brother's calling me. This sounds important. Should I just take this? Watch this. Hang on. You're live on the Country-ish podcast, Jason Reap. Okay, well, what's so important? What's so important that you're interrupting the podcast? It better be good.
Well, we noticed that you called Mark, so we were calling you back. Make sure you're okay.
Mark called me first. What does he want?
Oh, he's mad. I was just asking about the podcast award that came out today. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just asking about the award.
You know that what we do every Tuesday at this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you all about it later. How's that?
Tell him he'll get his medal next.
Yeah. By the way, you're going to be on this podcast now.
Yeah. You always have to be the center of attention, Mark.
You
Yeah.
can cut it out.
No, it's in. It's in. This is part of it. Candid moments with Stamos.
Yep.
Congratulations on your award, sir.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Can't get it through his head.
Huh.
All right, I love you, buddy.
He'll never watch it.
No, now he will watch it.
Oh, because he's on it.
And then as soon as that, he'll stop.
Yeah.
So I know how to get one viewer every episode.
Yeah, say his name.
And his name is Mark, and he's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should start charging him. I should make him be like the Platinum Elite, get $100 a month to be on this. I wonder if he'd pay me.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so thank you, Jennifer Pittman, for my haircut. She's got a good. Do you know the name of her place? I forgot the name of it.
It's in Conover.
It's
I
in
don't
Conover.
remember the name of it.
Yeah, my bad. All right, so also
We could remember if she would pay for the
Oh, yeah.
executive thing and
I
come
bet
on
it
the
would
show.
come to my memory if she were on.
Yes.
Interesting. Very good. Here's something fun I did. You know Bert Kreischer, the Machine.
Oh, yeah.
So we had him on the podcast, and then he goes, I'm doing these drive-in shows now at drive-in theaters. You know there's a drive-in theater in Kings Mountain?
I didn't know this.
I have known about it, but I've never been there, and it is awesome.
Oh.
Have you been to a drive-in theater?
Not in 25 years.
Right. The last time I went to a drive-in theater,
They used to have
the
porn
movie,
at 'em.
I remember the movie. It was like Police Academy 3.
Wow.
And it was in Hickory, the one that's, by the furniture place that used to be there.
Yep, that's
Anyway.
where I used to go to,
Yeah. Anyway, those are fun times, but, now that a lot of theaters and clubs aren't doing shows, people like Bert Kreischer, who sell like a lot of tickets,
Yeah.
is trying to figure out, what to do. Well, he's got a tour bus. He's touring the country. He was in Kings Mountain. I said, hey, if you need me for anything, I'll show up. And he said, yeah, come on over. So I hung out with him. That was really bizarre doing comedy. And here's how it worked, right? So they made a stage next to the big screen theater,
Okay.
like the big screen. And then they had camera crews set up, and they filmed the stage part, and they projected that onto the
so
screen.
you're behind.
So if you were kind of close, you could just watch, the stage part of it. But if you were way back there, you could look at the screen.
Okay.
And they still had it where you could tune into a radio and hear the audio of it. I mean, there was a weird delay kind of going on. So the audio wasn't 100% great. And it's weird performing in front of headlights and cars. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there were some people who got out of their cars and had little, camping chairs and sat in
Yeah.
that. And some people who just sat on their truck or on top of their Jeep or whatever. But it was great. I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm used to like immediate feedback, kind of a reaction. The guy who went first, Bert's got his own openers that travel with him. This guy named Jesus Trejo, very funny dude. I mean, he's blowing up on Netflix and stuff right now. But he had to go first, which is a bummer because they're still trying to figure out the audio and the big screen. And so he went up there. Mike wasn't working right off the bat. He had to take the bullet for all of us. And I enjoy watching other people, comedians,
Take the
have
bullet.
a hard time. I mean, they all do.
Yeah.
And they'd laugh at me if I went first, too.
Yeah.
So, but I love Jesus. But he pulled it off. He got up there. He was like, okay, this thing on. And they can't, he's like, you can't hear me. All right. And he looks at the big screen, and they're showing a preview to, like, Fast and Furious 7. It's not even his image. So he had to address that. But they figured out each comedian that got better and better. And by the time Bert got up there, it was amazing. And it was really cool. I think he said they're going to make a Netflix thing out of it.
Oh, okay.
Like they're going to try and sell the idea to Netflix and do like a whole series of these drive-in type shows, which works for him and, and me too. It would be my style of comedy too, where it's just like, let's have a party and tailgate and have a good time.
Yeah.
Funny, crazy stories and that kind of stuff. So thank you, Bert Kreischer, for letting me, I just did 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was weird because, in this area, I think people know me more in this area than they would in Indianapolis.
Right.
And so the guy who brought me up said, John Reap. It was 5 seconds into my act. Someone goes, that thing got a Hemi! Like his Hemi right out the gate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we can go there. So I had to talk about the Hemi thing and then moved on. But it was fun. We hung out afterwards.
Sweet.
He's having a whole fun tour bus thing. He's got a tour bus driver who's like kind of a heavy-set African-American gentleman. And they make crazy bets all the time. And he's like, he dared him, like he said I could beat you at a 50-yard dash. And both of them are big boys.
Yeah.
And so it's funny to see big guys sprint. I'm not talking about like, do a crazy dare like jogging. Like I'm talking like hauling ass for 50 yards.
Who won?
The bus driver. and he's bigger than Bert. And Bert knew for sure he was going to win.
Wow.
So they were having fun doing these bets. And they did another one like running around the whole drive-in movie theater park, all the, like a distance thing, a time distance thing. So I guarantee you they're going to have a lot of fun on this tour, and it's still going on. Check out BertKreischer.com for that. I think it's just BertBert.com. We'll put the link up later. BertBert.com. And he's also on my podcast, so thank you. All right, that was good. Now, Martin brought it up, so maybe I should talk about it.
The award?
Yeah. Drum roll. Guess what? Country-ish and another podcast I do, Heffron and Reap with John Heffron. By the way, check out Heffron and Reap wherever you get your podcasts. Me and John Heffron still doing a podcast randomly from time to time. It's great. Okay, so the website is, and I never heard of this before, but apparently there's all these different ranking websites. There's awards for everything now. You got Golden Globes, you got Academy Awards, you got Grammys. Well, why doesn't podcast have them? Well, they do.
They do.
And it turns out that the World Podcasting Federation has just come out with their new list of top-ranked podcasts. And number 1, Heffron and Reap. Number 2, Country-ish. We're number 2 right now, according to the World Podcasting Federation. And you know it's real because they have a website.
They have a website.
And it works. If you were to click on one of them things, it would take you to the podcast.
Okay.
See,
yeah.
So it's like a real deal.
So who's on down the list?
Well, you got number 3 is a Heffron. Weird. Kid with a cape. That's weird that me and him both are in the top 3. That's weird.
Yeah.
Number 4, Bert.
Bert. Oh.
Number 5, Bob Saget's Here For You.
As long as you can be Bob Saget.
Yeah. And This American Life, which is, it's not a comedy, but it's a huge podcast. And it's nice to be mentioned in the same. I'm just happy to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
So thank you, whoever is in charge of the World Podcasting Federation. I'm honored. I don't know if you're going to have an awards ceremony. I'm sure we could go there. You know how they have the Oscars,
like the red
Academy
carpet
Awards?
events?
Yeah.
I wonder what color the carpet would be.
I don't know. That
Would it be
red
different
carpet.
color? It'd still be red?
But what would the award be? I'm thinking like the potties. The podcast, you get a potty. So it's like a little toilet with a microphone. It's a potty.
That's a pretty good idea.
Or just a microphone. Something like that. But anyway, that's great, right? That came out of nowhere. So I had to mention that because that's what Mark was calling about. Because he just saw
thought he got a gold medal here and he was wanting to pick it up.
He's very excited.
Oh, not a gold one, but a silver one. He got the silver.
All right. So guess what else is coming up pretty soon? Wait, before we do that, I think we have new iTunes reviews, don't we, Alan?
Yes, we do.
So if you want to help the podcast out and you're broke, if you don't want to be a Patreon member but you still want to help somehow, things that you could do are rate, review, subscribe, and share. When I say that rate and review, I'm talking about like Apple Podcast mostly. If because we're on Apple Podcast, you can rate us, give us 5 stars, and you can write reviews. And if you write a review, I will read it. Okay, it's like a free shout out. So let's read some of the new reviews that we have up here, and we're growing all the time. We're ticking up, and people are writing stuff. And I think we had 5 new ones, maybe. I can pull it up here too, Alan, if you're having trouble finding it. Country, call Mark back. Ish podcast. Let's see if my Wi-Fi is faster than yours. We're on the same thing. Country-ish. Now I know. Wait, real quick. Go ahead and look it up, Alan. Guess what else? I just found that me and Alan meet before we start recording this, and we catch up and we look at our numbers and we find out what's working, what's not working. You would not believe where we're blowing up right now. Like what region of the world?
Region of the world.
Yeah. Not like what segment. I'm talking about
just
a place.
like U.S. You're talking about all over the world. Global.
Right. Yeah, this World Wide Web we're on. And so that means we're everywhere.
That's everywhere.
And technically, we're all over the globe.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if anyone in Zimbabwe is listening, but I hope so.
Yeah.
But where we're ticking up, where we're like blowing up right now?
Yeah.
Norway. You ever been to Norway?
I've never been to Norway,
I wonder how
but
you say.
I would go.
What language do they speak?
Norwegian.
In Norwegian. So
They also have a cruise line. Do they go?
that's true. Oh, maybe that's what we're going to get the country-ish on the Norwegian cruise line.
Maybe we get a shout out with that.
How to say thank you in Norwegian.
They may not want us on their cruise line after our last epic adventures.
Hang on. All right, so I just want to say this to all our new Norway listeners.
Thank you.
You gotta say it in Norwegian.
Wait, that's not. Wait, hang on.
Takk skal du ha.
That's it.
Tuscaloosa.
I just want to say to all of our new Norway listeners.
Takk skal du ha.
Did you hear that, Alan?
Yeah,
Is it loud enough?
that's good.
So
Takk skal du ha.
to all the new Norwegian listeners. All right. Hey, listen, we'll take all we can get,
that's
Raven.
right, man.
All right, Alan has pulled up the iTunes reviews. Let's read a couple. What's the, do I start with June 24?
Yeah.
All right. That's at the very, okay, here we go. No. I'm going to do, I think I read that one.
Did you read Gerald, Bob?
I think so. Oh,
Okay.
see.
We're going up to 25.
All right, here we go. I'll do that one. Homegrown West Virginian, 5 stars, by Johnny Hustle V. What a great podcast. Just listen for the first time and can't believe how awesome. Like listening to a couple friends from back home. I will have to visit Hickory soon.
Come
All right.
see us.
Yeah.
Come see us the 5th, because I want to know about this 5th.
Oh, right.
Because we just met the 4th. There's a 3rd. There's a 3rd.
Rick Sanford the third.
And he told us there'd be no 4th, but he's
John-
really the 5th.
Right. I want to know if it's actually a V as in the number 5 or if
Yes.
it's a V for like Victor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not sure.
We need to know, Johnny.
All right, let us know, Johnny Hustle. Appreciate the review. Here's another one. Whole lot of laughing going on. 5 stars. By Rickster Third. Oh, wow. A lot of numbers. Country-ish is a welcome break from the news and other assorted, maladies? Maladies in your day?
And you're listening.
Alan,
And you're listening to Country-ish here, Rick, with those fancy words.
available on iTunes and YouTube. You can tune in 2 easy ways and enjoy country-ish movie reviews, Zoom meetings with other comedians, and the shenanigans of small-town folk who make big news. Oh, I like this review.
Yeah.
If you work from home and you need some stimulation, tune in and let your mind slip into an alternate consciousness of humor and ginger delights. I'm loving this. Hang on. Need a 7-foot, 14-inch hardened steel stud to make you smile? Tune in and enjoy some alone time with Sebastian. He won't look down on you.
Oh, wow.
Missing a full house? Marcus Stamos can make you say, have mercy. Looking for that country-ish baritone to soothe your soul? The Alan Jackson can sing you into a stupor with his melodious voice. Melodious voice. Bring a friend for double the fun. All right. Thank you.
That was
very
that
elaborate.
was very eloquent.
I do like that. All right, here's one by Chris in KY. Chris in Kentucky. 5 stars.
It's either Kentucky or jelly.
This is by E.C. Euler or Eculer. Any podcast that features the charisma and magnetism of Sebastian is worthy of 5 stars.
Who is this?
Great
Is this a
listening to a
chick?
bunch of yahoos like I went to high school with is great entertainment.
I thought it was Christy, but it's Chris.
Well, it could be short for
Could be
Christy.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a compliment to
I
you.
know. I like it.
Oh, man, I got to keep you around.
Man, keep me around.
This is great. All right, here's the last one. Favorite podcast, 5 stars, Rhonda PP. I look forward to my Friday workouts each week because I listen to Country-ish during it. Have been listening since the Fried Pod days and never missed an episode. Love hearing about what's going on in your lives. You guys feel like family to me now. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Love John's journal, especially when it sparks memories and you all reminisce about your high school days. Looking forward to when you can all be together for your podcast again after the pandemic. Y'all are a great team. Love to Mimosa and Popsicle. Man,
Super nice.
thank you all for doing that. That makes my day. That was Johnny Poovy who just texted me. Oh, okay. I'll have to get back to him about the Reeps Peeps cruise. All righty then. Let's pick up where we left off. 4th of July coming up. Pretty excited about that. Here in Hickory, we have a lake called Lake Hickory. And I've always, when I came back here, my goal was to get a lake house. And then, of course, parents' situation, dad having a stroke. Now I'm taking care of mom. Had to put that on hold. But that don't mean I can't hang out on the lake. So I looked up, I went to the interwebs and went, and I said, hey, who's got a pontoon boat that I could use? And somebody got back to me, so we have a pontoon boat, and we're going to get on there, I think, for the 4th, and I'm excited. When does this come out?
Friday. You'll be on the pontoon boat the day after. Saturday.
So I'm worried if I should reveal anything until after. You know what I mean? Because we're novices at the boat situation. I don't own a boat. I've never put a boat in the water. I've never taken a boat out of the water. I'm not sure what to expect, but someone is brave enough to let me try.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. I'll remember to thank them after the 4th.
Yeah.
Anyway, just looking forward to that because I enjoy the lake, so why not, right? Good times are coming. Number 1 in Norway. All right, let's move on. Okay, so someone just mentioned John's Journal, right? That's their favorite segment. So why don't we do a speaking of Norway too? Look at this. I'm connecting things.
Well, you're worldwide.
I'm connecting
worldwide
what
today.
someone said in a review.
Good segue.
And I'm saying segue.
Yeah.
This is a foreign edition.
Foreign
edition of John's Journal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Are you
in the
going
past,
to sing it in a different language?
Yes, I will sing it in Russian.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. I can't wait.
It's what I like to call. Jan Klana, Sanmataka I just made up that gibberish.
I thought you was.
I was trying to go for half Norway, half Russian sounding language. Can you do other accents?
No.
Nor will you try.
Oh, not after that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I could do accents pretty
I know
good.
you can. You're a professional actor.
Oh, that's what I was gonna remind me to tell you about getting fired from a job.
Yeah, I want to hear about this.
Well, now we're into this. I'll get to it later. Maybe I'll be for another. Yeah, tune in for that. Maybe another episode. I got fired from a gig for the first time ever. We'll talk about that later. But right now, what we're going to do is this. So I went to Russia in 1990. We've talked about this on the previous episode. And I met a pen pal. I have a pen pal from Russia from 1990-91. I've got 5 letters from Russia that I found when I moved back home. I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot all about this. And we read them on the show. And I told you I was going to respond to them. Now, I don't have, this is before email and the internet. So the only way I know to get in touch with this human being is to respond to this address with a letter, like an old school letter. And so I just picked the very first one, and I'm going to respond to what she wrote about. Her name is Natalie, either Makieva or Mahia. I don't know if it's a Miheeva, but anyway, here's the envelope that I'm going to send to her, okay? And she wrote this. I'll give you a brief summary of what she said. Dear Jonathan, the girl writes for you. Okay, this is her broken English, and bless her heart. I mean, look, I can't speak Russian. She goes, the girl writes for your of the USSR. My name is Natalie. Today I received your name and address from my friends. I'm very interested in your country, your people, and your culture. I hope I can learn a lot about your country. And it goes on to tell her about herself, what kind of music she likes, and all this stuff. At the very end, it says, Please write back soon. Here's my address. I got her address right there in red. Okay. I took a photocopy of her letter because what I'm going to do is fold her actual letter up in with this
Send it back
envelope
to her.
with my response, so she knows this is what you sent me. You know what I mean? But I'm going to keep the actual original. But at the very end, she goes, "So long, dear Jonathan. Bye-bye. Your Soviet friend, Natalie." So I responded. I'm going to respond. And I wrote it out like she did. She wrote this out. Not on she didn't type it. She wrote it. So I wrote it. Okay? And I'm going to put this in the envelope with her copy of her letter. And I'll read you what I wrote. Would you like to hear it?
I would.
Okay. Dear Natalie, I'm writing you from the USA. My name is John Reap. In 1991, I received a letter from you. You said you got my address from your friends. You said you were interested in my country and my culture. I've made a copy of your letter, and I have included it in this envelope. It's been 30 years since then, but here goes. America is on fire. I'm pretty sure it's the apocalypse. Our president is Donald Trump from the Celebrity Apprentice TV show. We have a lot of protests going on over police brutality, and there is a nationwide pandemic called COVID-19. How's Russia? When you wrote me, you said you were 14 years old. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, let me read that again. When you wrote me, you said you were 14 years old. That would make you 43 now. I'm 48 years old. I live in Hickory, North Carolina. I used to live in Los Angeles, but my dad had a stroke, and now I'm back home looking after my mom. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, and host of an award-winning podcast. I would love to have you on as a guest on my podcast and catch up. How's Moscow these days? Anything changed since 1991? I can be reached at johnreap@gmail.com. My website is johnreap.com, and my podcast is called Country-ish. That website is countryishpodcast.com. I hope you're alive and well, and I hope to hear from you soon. So long, dear Natalie. Bye-bye. Your American friend, John Reap. So I'm going to put that in this envelope tomorrow morning, and who knows what'll happen. Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What if Natalie turned out to be one of those mail-order brides from Russia and she's here?
Right.
She's down here in Spartanburg right now.
I don't know. Did I ever show you the picture, Alan? I mean, I can't remember because I think I only read one of her letters.
Yeah, there was a picture.
Oh, you
Okay,
held back
so
on the
all right,
picture.
so far in this on my own podcast and Bert's, I've only read you one of her letters. Now I've got many of them, right? These are the original ones here. But at some point I'm going to keep these together. There's a picture in one of these. I should have pulled it out beforehand. Of course, it'll be the last one I pull out. Let's see here. Anyway. Yeah, so she sent me a picture. So I kind of know what she looked like back then. I don't know what she would look like today. Is this it? Yeah, here you go. That's her. That's a 14-year-old Natalie Mahiva or Makiva.
Okay, yep.
Right?
You want
Blonde.
to try to hold it up to the camera a little bit?
Okay. Go ahead there. There you go.
Can you see that, Alan?
What is it? Can you read
a
the
little
back?
bit, yeah. All right, that's good.
This is from me with lots and lots of good wishes.
Okay. So this is nothing but a friendly
Yes.
human exchange here. We're trying to find this girl. So she would be 43. Looks like she had blonde hair in this picture. I mean, look at this photo, dude. It's old black and white. So there you go. It'll be interesting to see if this address even works. You know what I mean? Can't even pronounce these words.
Did you try to look her up on Facebook?
Well, because I talked about it with Bert,
Yeah.
and we made it like a thing. Let's try and find her.
Yeah.
And he's got way more listeners than us. Certain people have reached out to me and said, "Is this her? Is this her?" And it's so far it can't be her because they're like way younger.
Gotcha.
There is one though that could be her, and she's on Facebook. And I sent her a friend request, and I haven't heard anything back. And I actually typed like, "Hey, I don't know if this is you." Blah 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 blah. Haven't heard anything. So who knows? I got to go old school. I got to send a dang letter in the mail.
Mom and Dad may still be living at that address.
How much? Yeah, remember me?
Yeah.
This will be like the long distance
International
Remember Me segment. How much do you think a stamp
That
for this
was my next question for you. How much do you think it's going to cost to send this letter?
I have no idea.
I've never sent a letter to Russia.
I'm going to walk it. I'm going to go to the post office and go, hey, I don't know. If you could even type this in. I mean, there must be a way to do it. I'm also going to take the originals with me in case I interpreted something wrong. Maybe somebody else could help me. But, yeah, I don't know. What's your guess? I mean, it's just an envelope. So what? A regular letter is 35 cents here?
I'm going to say that's going to cost $3.
Yeah, it can't be like something crazy.
It's going to take a month to get there, but it's going to be $3.
Yeah.
Surely.
Well, Alan, what's your guess on that?
On the postage?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I less $3 or less. Can't be that much. But I'm excited to see where this is going to go. And I will read you. Maybe this will be the new John's Journal moving forward for a little while. I'll just strictly go Natalie's letters. And I've already read one, and I just gave you a little bit of it. If you want to remember, if you want to go back and listen to this one, I forgot what episode it is. I'm sure, it's out there. Look for it. But I got them labeled. I'll read the next one next time in order of when they came to me. And by the way, it ain't just Natalie. Other girls got involved and started writing me. So at some point, I'll look them up too. So this is going to be a fun little scavenger hunt, human scavenger hunt. See if we can find Natalie.
I may have some of these girls on my Facebook Messenger.
Oh, yeah?
They hit me up quite often and asking for,
Oh, yeah, those
mail order bride.
Right. Yeah.
Russian girls, you think? And a lot of them's named Natalie. Maybe I should look.
A lot of Natalies over there. I remember Alan was in Russia with me. Yeah. Alan, did you ever make any pen pals when you were there?
Yeah, there were a couple that I wrote to for a little bit.
Do you have any letters?
I may back at home, but I'll have to dig around and see.
Yeah, maybe that's something that we could do as a segment.
Yeah.
But I remember going over there back in the day. This is in 1990. The communism hadn't fell. But like any other country, there's a lot of people there. So you got good-looking people and you got not good-looking people. But the younger ones were kind of attractive. There were some hot ones, but then I think once they hit like 40, it went downhill quick. They had a hard life. Yeah. They got big, quick. There's a lot of hair, I remember when I got off the plane in Moscow, the first thing I noticed was the smell. And it was a combination of garlic, cigarette smoke, and body odor. It just hit you. I'm like, oh. And it was whatever. It was the summertime, so it was like steamy and hot there. And I was like, this is brutal. So, they just live different. But
Norway, Norway is awesome.
Norway?
Where we're trending at
Norway
currently.
is one of my favorite places. God,
Scandinavia.
Thing. Why is this not? Huh? What'd you say?
It seems
Tak
that's,
skal du ha.
yeah.
Norway? Takskaduha.
Tak skal du ha.
Kakstaduha. Yeah, that's fun.
Tak skal du ha.
Sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that you got between your legs?
Tak skal du ha.
Right? It sounds like a weird medieval sexual act.
What you should do.
What are you going to do when you get home with your
You
girlfriend?
should
I'm going to put her
audio-
in the...
Tak skal du ha.
You should auto this, and next time you're, having a good time around Jody, you should pull that out of your repertoire.
Yeah. Well, Kama Sutra is famous in like the Mideast, I believe.
Yeah,
Norway,
Indian.
their version, their version, Norway's version is.
Tak skal du ha.
Anyway, Natalie, holler back, right? Holler back, Natalie, if you're out there. I would love to actually, if we do touch base with her, if somehow she responds, if somehow that Natalie gets in touch, she could zoom in.
Oh, yeah.
Have her as a guest, see what she looks like, see how her life has been, see how she likes my response 30 years later. All right, Alan, is it time to do a break, or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's take a little ad break and coming back with Jim.
Oh, that's right. So don't leave. After this break, when we come back, it's going to be an interview with a very successful comedian, been in TV, movies. He's a 2-time New York Times best-selling author. But anyway, we'll be right back with more Country-ish after this. Hey, everybody. Jon Reep here. Just want to say thank you for listening or watching this podcast. We love it when you do that. Also, I want you to go cruising with me. That's right. Not in a car, in a ship. That's right. It's the Reeps Peeps Comedy Cruise. Check it out. If you go to johnreep.com, click on the Reeps Peeps Cruise. All the information you need is right there. It's in 2021. You got plenty of time. November the 6th through the 11th. We're going to a private beach in Haiti. We're going to Nassau. I'm doing stand-up. We're doing a podcast, and we're doing karaoke. 5 nights. It's going to be a blast. Get on the boat with me, Jon Reep, and the Reeps Peeps Cruise. If you love this podcast and you love wearing shirts, well, we got something for you. If you go to countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, it'll take you to my store, and we have an awesome t-shirt for you. It's a Country-ish Podcast t-shirt. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Also, it's got the website on there. It's a soft tee, very soft, feels good on your skin, and it helps us keep the lights on here at the studio. So check out countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, get yourself a t-shirt, and know that I love you. All right, we're back. There's a pandemic going on, and there's a lot of comedians who can't tour right now. And that's where I take advantage of that situation. I make them zoom into my show. And we got a dandy today. This guy's very popular. You've seen him all over Comedy Central. He's done all kinds of roasts, and he's got his own Sirius XM radio show, does tons of podcasts. He's a 2-time best-selling author, New York Times bestseller list. TV shows, movies, you name it, this guy's done it. You'll know who I'm talking about. Let's enjoy this interview with Jim Norton.
Take another look and tell me that.
I want to go back in time for a second. I doubt you will remember this, but we actually worked together maybe one weekend. It was before either one of us were doing anything.
Oh, wow.
In Raleigh, North Carolina. There was a club called Good Nights.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And there was another one that was an offshoot of Good Nights that lasted maybe a year called Good Nights North or Good Nights 2. And it didn't do well. It was like way too big,
Right.
And it was not a lot of people knew about it. You and I were there. I think I was the MC, and maybe you were the feature. I remember working with you because I remember sitting in the back of the room and just laughing my head off and being pissed off that not more people were there, not because of you or me, but because of the situation. Yeah.
What was it? But it wasn't, because I remember doing Good. I've done that so many times, that gig, but I remember it's the one time I actually did a weekend with Richard Jeni. It was, it's got to be 1996. I'm not sure when you started, but maybe 99 or 2000. It was in the late 90s, early 2000s. And Richard brought his own act. Mm-hmm. And I remember they kicked me off the show because but they let me, I think, host for him. Yeah. Just so Richard wanted me not to lose the work. The club screwed up the booking me for the weekend. So I don't know if that wasn't the weekend. It was another.
I don't think it was. No, it couldn't have been Richard Jeni. I don't think he would have done this other room because it wasn't like as established as the main Good Nights room. But here's what I remember from that. I had to take a shit before the show. And I always hate it when we don't have our own green room, where we have to share a bathroom with other people. Yes. Yep. And especially when you have to shit. Or pissing's just as bad, too, because they can see you at the stall. But anyway, I was in there. I shut the door. And some guy came in there, and I guess he recognized my shoes, And then, like, when I got on stage, he said, "Hey, that was the guy that was shitting." And I remember, like, me telling you that story and just kind of laughing at that, like, that's the worst. And yeah, so it's weird how you remember tiny little nuggets of crap literally crap from a long time ago, you know?
Yes, and it's funny you're saying that, and you're triggering a memory of a shit story I had, which was because when you the part that is the worst is when you don't have your own bathroom. You want a green room bathroom, and the Punchline in San Francisco, it's a small club, and I was there, and it was probably again early 2003 or late 2002, and I was very sick. I had food poisoning. I hadn't slept in 3 days, or I was just sick, and I was vomiting and I was shitting. And having to run in and out of the bathroom of a 150-seat club and shit while the host is on in between me and the feature. It really is one of the unsung disasters. Like, nobody in show business talks about how awful it is to have to shit right before you go on. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I mean, because it's in our heads, you know, that moment happened where a guy recognized the comedian was actually shitting, and that's his heckle. Now I mean, of course we all shit, but that's not what I wanted to talk about on stage. And now he's got me there, and it pissed me off. But I always hate that. But for whatever reason, having to shit right before a set always kind of happens. And it happens more than people think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it goes away if you don't have time to actually let it out, like right before you get up there. I think the adrenaline kicks in, and it pushes it back inside for a while.
Yes, that will happen. The adrenaline will. If I'm doing a show where it's just, if I'm doing like a theater show where it's like an opening act and me, I know what they do, where they close with. A lot of times I'll always dump out before, like your body just like, I guess that's my panic. Your body just like, just fucking empties everything that can get rid of. So it helps to have, but I went through a weird thing where I was afraid I was going to pass out on stage. And I kept feeling like I had to puke when I was on stage. So I actually would have a bucket set up off stage. I never needed it, but it was a psychological thing where I used to have to hold on to the stool because I think I was maybe talking too fast and running out of air. Yeah. But I was so scared I was going to pass out. And I finally one day just went, "You fucking pussy, shut up and just fucking faint." And I just said, "Just do it, you fuck." I was so angry at my cowardice. And then it just kind of went away. I just kept talking through it. I'm like, if I pass out, then I'm going to fucking fall and just bang my head. Wow. And then eventually, whatever psychological thing, I don't know if it was fear or if it was like, again, just my talking pattern, but I was going through this thing where I would have to hold on to the stool because I was feeling like I was about to black out and collapse.
Wow. So have you always been a little anxious about performing? I mean, is that a performance thing or is that like you walk around with that kind of thing?
Performance, I think. I've always kind of had that. It goes away, like, and you know how it is. I mean, you know how to manage it and how to take it, and you recognize it for what it is. Like, hey, it's just somebody tapping me on the shoulder. It's not. It doesn't mean anything. It's just it's a tap on the shoulder. It's a tap on the shoulder. It's there. No one knows it's there but me. Yeah. No one can see it or sense it or smell it but me. Yeah. So that helps kind of. But, you know, the fear of not remembering shit. I don't know if you go through that, but the fear of like even doing TV sets, I would always have to bullet point, even if I knew the material, because there was this terror that I was going to just go blank and forget everything I had written.
Yes, and that my TV tapings as well. Sometimes I'll have a teleprompter. They're like, "Hey, we got a teleprompter. You want to use the prompter?" And I'm like, "Well, that's just going to throw me off. I'm not going to sit there and read my comedy word for word, but I will use it for bullet points." So I'm not actually looking at a piece of paper or whatever, or at least a timer so it counts down. I want to know where I'm at in the set. You know, if it's like a TV thing, you got 7 minutes. If you can just pop up there, 30 seconds left. You know, I'll know how to wrap it up. But yeah, it happened to me in Tampa where I actually forgot. You know, I'm a storyteller mostly. I've got some set up punch things here and there, but my bread and butter is kind of like stories, and then. The good thing about stories is when you tell them over and over and over again, you know, it's easy to remember. You know, a joke I think might be easier because it's set up punch, but jokes are longer. There's little nuances in there, and you forget if you don't do it every time. And I must have forgotten several things in Tampa. And I tell people, I forgot something if I just in the middle of a set go, yeah, but man, it's like, it's crazy,
Yeah. You guys are a good crowd. You guys are great. Like whenever I tell them they're great, they're not. You're fucking, I'm forgetting. You're average. I'm forgetting that. But I'm like, you guys are great. Like just taking a sip and you're like, I'm panicking because I have nothing left to say to these fucking people.
Yeah, I'll start doing the thing where I go, any questions? I just start asking 4 questions, and then hopefully someone who's seen me before will, jog my memory with a bit. But it happened because if you don't do it in 4 months, that shit's going to happen. Do you know when your next gig is?
I have, the next stuff, everything's been pushed back. I think we're looking at Boston at the end of September and a casino in Connecticut. They were back to back. It was one night in Boston and one night in the casino. So we're going to see what the law allows if people can come.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still do the shows. I had to move Chicago to next year because they're going to have very limited seating. So I would lose money going.
Right.
Like, I don't need to make a lot of money, but I don't want to lose money because of the traveling and the hotels and stuff. I would want to, making like losing money.
Sure.
So a couple of the gigs had to be pushed back to next year just until they can seat enough people.
Yeah.
Because what my agent said, it's going to be upside down, meaning there's just not going to be enough tickets. It's a small room. I remember one time we were doing, before Tough Crowd, there was a show Colin did called The Colin Quinn Show. Uh-huh. And it was live on NBC. It was on the SNL stage. And he only did 3 episodes. And we did something called The Town Hall, which eventually became Tough Crowd. It was 5 comedians sitting there. And we were all just kind of sitting there on steps doing a bit to camera. Like it was supposed to be casual. Mm-hmm. And I remember Rosie was on one. Like it was right after she came out. It was just to kind of put it. It was, I guess, middle of 2002, some point. And I was sitting next to Patrice and we had done our bit. I'd done my bit and he was doing his. And I knew him well enough where I'm watching him and I'm like, this asshole is forgetting his joke. Oh! I was so happy that my fucking dumb friend was forgetting his joke on live NBC television. Oh. He pulled it together. He did actually salvage it and make it, but I remember the joy at watching this dope forget his joke because I know the joy he would have taken.
Sure.
I was relieved because I had just done it, like my line or something, and I just watching him forget his joke. But he did pull it together, but I remember hoping he would.
Did you, because you've probably seen him do this joke before, did you actually know what he was trying to say and he forgot?
Yes. Sure. I don't remember what it was, but we had done a rehearsal. Like in Tough Crowd, there was never you wouldn't rehearse your joke. You might rehearse like your act 3 or your act 4 just for camera, but this was before that, where the whole bit was like it was like we were all doing like a 2 minutes of material or whatever it was. It was rehearsed, so we all saw each other's material before we did it. So I knew what he was trying to say, but he couldn't. I wasn't gonna fucking help him.
And you were just sitting there like,
the joy. Because it was live. They couldn't fix it and watch. And he knew he was forgetting. Yeah. And I don't think the crowd knew, but just watching somebody on the edge of a cliff ready to fall off was so satisfying. Because
like as comedians, we can sense that when it's happening. It's like when you're doing that, yes, but it's everything is crazy, blah, blah, blah. That's great. I take joy in that too. If it's a long-term friend of mine, and I enjoy busting balls as well as anybody. Yeah. But I also take joy in when I give another comedian a tag or an idea and they use it and it's like, and it works. Like I almost get more joy from that than even writing my own shit sometimes.
Yeah, when you give it to somebody, or the worst is when somebody who you like comes up to you with a shit tag or a fucking horrible idea. Like, dude, you know what you ought to do in that? And you're like, are you in comedy?
Right.
Fucking idea sucks. Sometimes you get a good one. Yeah. Like Attell, a lot of times at the cellar, if he's walking through, once in a while he'll come up to you in the steps and fire out a tag to you or something, and it's always funny because he's Dave Attell. But when another comic who's not Dave Attell does it, you're like,
Yeah, I feel like you have to know me a while before you do it, or you got to be a headliner. You can't be an open micer and give me tags. I mean, thank you, but yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, it's like a rite of passage, I guess. But when it works, it's great. I like doing it to younger guys. Like, I'll sit in the back of the room and see a feature act or something, and my mind's racing. I'm like, oh, this guy's good. He's onto something here. I want to tell him, but I don't want to offend him because I don't know him that good. You know, that happens.
It's a weird time when you want, even with a friend, like it to give them, like I've watched friends do the same bit night before, because I'll go on after them every night at the cellar. So I'll see the same ending bit. I'm like, I know how to make that funnier.
Yeah.
I just know they're like seeing from the outside, there's something that she's missing. And it's always, even with a friend, I'm a little like,
Yeah.
And then when you do it, you give it to them and they don't try it.
Oh,
like,
that's the worst. Yeah, it's like, and they won't tell you that. They won't tell you, it's going to be a hard pass for me. They just don't do it. And it's like, oh, shit. Then you feel like an asshole. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hey,
or if they do it and it bombs, that's the worst too. They do it on the Late Show and it fucking bombs, and you both know whose fault that was.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough. Well, I'm trying to think. Like, so I met you at Good Nights. That would have been in probably 1997 or 8 or something like that.
Probably around then. Yeah,
It was a
maybe
quick
even
little
a little
weekend in and out, but you had probably been doing stand-up way before that. Everyone likes to know, and I know you probably told us 1,000 times. First time on stage, what was it like?
Yeah, no, it was at a place called the Varsity Pub in Spotswood, New Jersey. And I wanted to do, you know how it is, man. You want to do stand-up, you dream of it, but you never think you'll do it. So I went to this comedy night a few times, and I saw guys like Otto and George. I saw Quentin Haig's headline one time. Jim Florentine, who became one of my closest friends. Excuse me. So I finally went back, and the guy would let me go up and introduce the show. This guy, Pat Gaynor, he's dead now, but he was such a sweet guy. Like, he would always talk to me and go, like, you know, he would answer my questions, and he would go up and just introduce the first comedian, like I was a part of the show.
Right.
So I finally went on at an open mic at that place in like the smaller bar area, and it was really weird to actually do it. Like, it was always a pipe dream, and I'm like, I know something's gonna fuck this up. It's not gonna happen. Right. But then the next thing you know, I'm on stage, and hearing my voice projected was the weird part. Like, it was hearing my voice come back off a mic was very strange, and realizing that I had no relationship with these people.
Right.
Like, you know, like when you make your friends laugh, it's that it's the energy of a private joke or a friendship, or you understand their rhythm, they get yours. I realized in that moment I have no relationship with these people, and I'm just a fucking idiot firing. I did a joke, like 2 or 3 minutes of material, then I closed with a joke. And I was not getting laughs was really hard.
Yeah.
Like, and weird. I'm like, I'm bombing. Like, I wasn't getting a laugh, and I was so not used to trying to be funny and not being able to be funny.
Right.
But yeah, there was a comedy team on that night. It was like a comedy competition my first night. And of course I didn't place, but they were called Red Johnny and the Round Guy. And they were very funny. They had a show on MTV at one point.
It sounds familiar, actually, the Round Guy. I think
the Round Guy, yes. John DiMaggio is actually a huge voiceover guy. Like, if you look up John DiMaggio, he's out in LA right now. He's a tremendous voiceover guy. So they were a very big act at the time. So they were on the show, and I think they were the only ones of note. But I wound up going back in like a month and trying it again. But it was hearing the voice projected was the weirdest part.
What year would you think that was?
1990. It was April of 1990. Probably April 7th of 1990. Yeah.
How old? I'm 48. How old were you in 1990?
I'm 51 now, so I was 21.
There's no way I would have said 51. I'm not just trying to get in your pants.
Oh, thanks.
I just assumed you look way younger than that. Like, I was going to say 45. Like, I thought you were younger than me.
Yeah, no.
So when you said first time was 1990, I'm thinking, God, you must have been 16 or something.
Yeah, no, I'll be 52 in July. And yeah, I was 21. It was weird, man. It was like, it was the dream. It was like Richard Pryor and Carlin, and that's what I wanted to do. And you never think you're going to do it. And then dumb luck. And all of a sudden, it's like you're planning something you know you're not going to do. Like,
right.
I know I'm too scared. This is too real.
Yeah.
I'm going to back out. And the next thing you know, I was there, and I had written some jokes down. I couldn't believe I did it.
Were you known as the funny guy with your friends?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what gave me the confidence to do was, people telling you that you're funny.
And did you tell them that you were going to go that first night? Were they there?
No. I tell you how I learned the lesson. I don't even know if I told my girlfriend at the time. I did it to impress this girl I was dating, but I don't think I told her.
Yeah.
Because the movie Fame from 1980 with Irene Cara. Did you ever see it?
I remember it. I can't quote anything from it, but I know Fame, the musical chorus or something like that.
It was not a good TV show, but the movie was in 1980, and it was about like a performance arts high school in New York, and there was singers and dancers and blah blah blah, and there was a comedian. He was a Spanish comedian named Ralph Garci, and he was a high school kid or whatever in the movie, and he goes on and he does his act, and he has all his friends there, and he's killing. He's fucking killing. And then he goes back, and he's trying to make it as a comedian, and he's drinking. And Richard Belzer was on stage, and Ralph goes on and bombs because none of his friends are there. And I always thought to myself, never have your fucking friends in the room because you want the reaction to be honest, so you know.
Right.
Like my parents didn't see me until I was doing stand-up for 7 years. I wouldn't let anybody. I think it was probably years, other than my one buddy who would come.
Yeah.
But I never had groups of friends. I hated it. I fucking hate when people I know are in the audience.
Yep.
I hate it.
Same here. I almost the same story. There was one guy who thought I was hilarious. I mean, I was a funny guy, but there was one guy who I always told I wanted to do comedy, and he was like, well, do it or stop talking about it. And he was the guy that came to the first time. I didn't tell many people, and I tell other comedians that are starting out today, go up there and suck in front of strangers for 6 months to a year before you invite anybody. You want to make sure you're good before your own friends watch you fail, because all they're going to do is bust your balls from then on out.
That's right.
So don't do that. And I did a cool power move one time too. I think you'd be proud of this. Once I got pretty decent, like I had a good 15, 20 minutes, and I was going to be like I think it was just starting out to be a feature or a very good MC. Anyway, I was dating a girl for a minute. I never told many people I was even doing stand-up because I was afraid of failing in front of people I knew or at all. But anyway, I invited this girl. I said, we need to go to the comedy club on a date. I didn't tell her I was going to be the host, And we get in there. I told the whole staff, too, like, don't say anything. We're just going to sit down like we're regular customers.
Right.
We went in, sat down at a table, and then the show was about to start. I said, I'll be right back. I got up from the table. I went up there. I killed for 15 minutes. And I came back and sat back down to her. That's a good old school power move. That was good.
Now, did she love it?
Oh, yeah. But that's awesome.
A great move.
Yeah, I always tell people,
move.
go in there and just, get it good before you start inviting your friends. You were talking about feigning earlier. Did you happen to see the D.L. Hughley tape?
No, I heard about it. Again, maybe it was exhaustion. I don't know. Did they ever come to a conclusion about is he diabetic? What was it?
Oh, I don't know if he's diabetic. I know that he made a video saying that he was rushed to the hospital. He had dehydration, and he was tested for COVID, and it was positive. And so
he had the COVID virus.
Yeah, he was quarantined in Nashville after that. So I don't know. Have you been tested? Are you worried about catching it? What's your thought?
I got tested once, some portable testing thing. There wasn't a long line, and I don't have it. I didn't have it. I mean, am I nervous? Sure. Nobody wants to get it because I do know somebody who had it, and she said it's the fucking worst thing she's ever dealt with. And she's like in her 30s, and she's healthy, and she's a dancer. And then you hear people I know a couple other guys that have had it and they were totally asymptomatic, stuffy nose maybe.
Yeah.
And like every other asshole, I was very, very sick at the end of January where I thought I had walking pneumonia.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I had it. I haven't been tested for antibodies yet,
Yeah.
but I was in Italy right before that. So I'm kind of hoping I had it, but everyone thinks they've had it. Oh, dude, I got sick. It was like, that was 2009, you fucking idiot.
Right.
You didn't have it. So I'm hoping that I had it at the end of January, but I'm careful, but I'm not crazily paranoid.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I live with my mother right now. Here's a new sentence I've been saying, which really gets the girls hot and bothered. I'm a 48-year-old divorced man who lives with his mother.
That's a rough sell. That's a hard
She's
sell.
like 74, so I'm worried about her catching it. She's in that age range. I went to Tampa, did shows, shook hands, did meet and greet, sold merchandise, came back. I thought, I know I got it. Went ahead and got tested negative. But maybe I just got lucky. But Florida, the numbers were going up, and North Carolina, the numbers were going up, and somehow I did not get it. But then again, I don't know if I trust the tests because I had to administer it myself. Like, I've seen the videos where people stand in line and they cock their head back and someone's got like a long pipe cleaner and it goes to their brain and it comes back out. But they just had me do it myself. I don't trust me to get in there far enough.
Yeah, this is a long Q-tip, and they did the back of my throat, and I've had a lot of sinus issues, as you can probably tell. So I'm used to having things like in my sinus. You never get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But it poking in the back of your sinus. It's such a fucking weird area that's not meant to be touched.
Yeah.
And they rub it for like 10 seconds. You're blinking, and it's really unpleasant. As a test, it feels like something's wrong when they're doing it.
Yeah, I sneezed immediately when I was doing it. And I had to go through a drive-through at a CVS and do it myself. It was really bizarre. So we don't know what's going on with DL. I guess he's quarantined in Nashville. I don't know how much time you have, but one of the things I like to do when comedians zoom in is give me a good dad story. Wait, before I do that, I got to give you props for Don Rickles as on The Irishman. Dude, not only did you do a good job just as an actor, but they made you look like him really good too. Like, it's uncanny how much you actually how well you did in that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been compared to Rickles my whole career.
Yeah.
And again, I always admired Rickles, but I was never he was never the guy I loved. I always loved Richard Pryor and Carlin and George Robert Klein. So I was just a natural physical head shape and maybe the way I speak, my whatever. Right. But I met Rickles a couple of times, and I did the Tonight Show with him once, and then afterwards, I saw him like maybe a year later, and he kind of he's like, "Where do I know you from?" And his guy is like, "You guys did the Tonight Show together," and Rick was like, "You do me better than I do me." So it was but it wasn't intentional. It was just my natural speech pattern reminded him of himself. So when they asked me to do the Irishman, they didn't make me audition. They just gave it to me. Like I had to go in which dude, I never would have got it if I had to audition. The fact that they just handed it to me, I was like, "Hey, they're their fucking problem if they fucked up." And then I just went and met with Scorsese, and they tried makeup on me, and it was a one-day shoot. I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
I just to have been in that movie is just amazing.
When you met Don Rickles, I would have been scared shitless. I mean, I enjoy watching roasts and that kind of stuff from afar, but sometimes when I'm the center of the attack, I get like nervous and I can't my comebacks aren't there. I think of them later, so it always makes me nervous in the room, especially when I get around those other people who do that very well. What was it? I mean, were you nervous meeting Rickles, or did you don't care about that kind of stuff?
Nervous in a starstruck way. Like me and Jim Florentine were doing the Stardust in Vegas. We were doing the Late Show with Dice, and the early show was Rickles and I think Joan Rivers were doing the early show at the Stardust. Yeah, we did that a couple of times. Me and Jim opened for Dice, and the one time we were there, the early show was Tim Conway and Harvey Korman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was amazing to meet those guys.
Awesome.
Dude, we would go early and just to say hello to the, and being comedians on the Late Show, we would always get access to them. So we had to wait for like 10 minutes for Rickles, but he was very funny. Like the last few minutes of his set that we saw, and he came out and we told him, hey, we're comedians. And he's like, oh, always be nice to the comedians. And he came over and he spoke to us and took pictures. And he was very sweet because we were, dude, when you're a comic, very few comedians are going to be dicks.
Right.
Like, the only one I was ever scared of meeting was Joan Rivers because she was one of my idols as a kid. And, I don't know why I wanted her to like me. And so just meeting her, I was really, and she's so fucking fast and so boom, boom. Like I approached her on a plane. Wow. I was sitting 2 seats behind her, and I'm like, oh, hello, Miss Rivers. I just want to know I'm a comedian. And she's like, you don't look funny.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking with me. And I was like, I just sat down. And then her assistant came over with a piece of the New York Times and said, Joan said you look like you needed something to read. And she was very sweet to me after that. But I was very nervous.
Yeah.
She's the one comedian that I met Pryor once, but that was, I was just, I couldn't talk. But she's the only one I actually spoke to that I was intimidated by it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. When I think about it, most comedians, especially working ones that have some sort of success, it's like a mutual respect. It's like we're in a fraternity together, and we got our own little secret handshake, and most of us are kind of nice. But I still get nervous around ones that I kind of put on a pedestal a long time ago. I mean, I had Andrew Dice Clay. He put out an album when I was in high school called "The Day the Laughter Died." It was a dual cassette, and he performed it at Dangerfields in front of maybe 20 people. And I had that thing memorized. It was one of the funniest things I remember ever hearing in my life. All my buddies loved it. You know, we're like Southern guys, but this dude was up here. We're like, wow. And fast forward, now I'm living in Los Angeles, and I'm at the Comedy Store. I'm a paid regular at the Comedy Store, and so is Andrew Dice Clay, and he would pop in there. And I remember I had to follow him one time. It was the hardest, most surreal moment of my career, is following the guy who introduced me, because that's what they do. That's a tag team situation, you know. And now here I'm coming. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I remember I bombed for like the good half my set because I said something like, well, what if he were actually from the South? And I started doing his jokes with a Southern accent, and it just people were like, nah, just do your shit, man. Let's just move on, you know. But
it's funny you say that, because Dice was one of my idols too, for The Day the Laughter Died and The Day the Laughter Died Part 2. Mm-hmm. And when I was out there doing the Louis Anderson show in '97 with Florentine, we went to the Comedy Store. My manager, Maureen, at the time, got me a set, and I showed up, and Dice bumped me. And nobody wanted to go on after Dice. I'm like, I'll go on. So he does an hour. He's a pig for a fucking hour. He's just a slob.
Yeah. You can't. It's hard to follow that. Yeah.
It was impossible because I was doing 7 clean minutes, and he goes, "Who's next?" And they're like, "Jim Norton." He's like, "Jim Norton. Oh, he's fucking great." Like, he was giving me such a shitty intro.
Right.
And then after I bombed, I came off, and me, him, and Florentine were talking, and Jim was talking to him. We started talking about The Day the Laughter Died. And we're telling him how none of the jokes made any sense. Like, what the fuck was that? But we loved it. He knew that we loved it, but we were teasing him because it was so crazy, the record. And he's like, you guys, I love you guys doing this. He goes, would you guys go on stage and do these jokes? And we're like, okay. It's 1997. So they don't want to do it. The club does not want to do it, but Dice makes them bring me and Jim Florentine on as Jim and Jim. We go on, and we just start deadpanning lines of his from The Day the Laughter Died and The Day the Laughter Died Part 2, and they're fucking bombing, because I had just bombed on stage an hour before.
Oh, man.
And we were sitting in the room in the back writing down Dice jokes with Dice, and he's like, yeah, do that one. So we're putting jokes down on a piece of paper, and then I go, I'm going to see, is there a way to drop? I don't know if I can drop. You can't see the chat where you are?
I don't think so. Alan, can we, is there a way he can share something?
I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
That's
I don't
okay.
know
We can do it in post. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I found a picture of the notes. I have the original notes from that night that I was making with Dice. And
oh, wow.
I save everything. So I have these handwritten notes from that night at the Comedy Store. And then afterwards, it's a long story, but I met Dice that night, and he wound up taking me on the road. I was a New York guy or Jersey guy.
Right.
From there, I met Opie and Anthony. Like, Andrew, that night changed my life. So just by being a fan of that record that you just mentioned, it changed my life.
Insane. I remember a buddy of mine, this is a real tangent. Do you remember at the end of that, I think it was around Christmas when it came out, and he sang like a Christmas song.
Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas for you.
Yeah, suck his dick till the veins are blue.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you and you and you. Triple loads for you and you and you. Yeah,
for you
like
and you and you. Yeah.
And he starts talking about, play something soft.
Yeah.
And the piano guy starts tickling the keyboards. Well, I had a buddy who worked at a jewelry store in the mall, right? And he knew that I loved Elvis music, right? And he goes, John, why don't you make me a cassette tape of just Elvis Christmas music so I can play it at the jewelry store? I'm like, sure. And at the very end of that tape, I put that song on there. And didn't tell him. I didn't tell him. And it just, there's a packed house. It's Christmas. Everyone's looking at, pink ice and diamonds. And you just hear, suck his dick.
Yeah, that's a goddamn good one. And the follow-up album was great too. And this is what's so funny. He was I toured with him after that, and he did a record called Filth. And it's a double album, and it was kind of the third installation of The Day the Laughter Died. And on it, there's a third CD. It was a double CD. There's a third CD, and he named one of the tracks Jim Norton, and one of the other tracks More Jim. He just did that for me, and they had nothing to do with me. The tracks, he just did that as a goof because he likes to to fuck around. Yeah, I really love Andrew. I mean, he changed my life, so I really love Dice.
Hey, man. All right, look, what do you want me to promote? I know you got tons of crap. Are you doing this Tournament of Laughs for TBS?
Not as me, no. Chip Chipperson.
Right. Okay. All right.
Which is a dumb character is doing it. But they're not saying my name at all, and it's all Chip.
Got it.
And it's funny, the fans are kind of enjoying the silliness of it because it is just nonsense. I mean, you make a quick video and,
Is that how it works? You're just making stuff at home and sending it in? I haven't seen it yet, but I know that's we have the same publicist, and she was like, make sure you mention the TBS thing. So,
no, it's for Chip Chipperson. They had asked me to do it, and I told my manager I'll do it only as Chip because I just love doing this dumb character. But I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Like, I'm fine with people who do it, but it's just I'm not good at that shit, so I'd rather not.
Yeah.
But as Chip, it's really fun. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll advance. I mean, if I don't advance, well, after 30 years, I'm supposed to be
Yeah, I'm not. It's weird. A lot of people are doing stand-up shows at home just with the camera, and that's awkward and weird to me. So
yeah,
I'm not. But if you could do it, kudos. I'm with you on that.
What
about
I've done no stand-up.
What about the contextual inadequate?
Contextually Inadequate was just a special I did. After that, I shot. On Netflix, there is The Degenerates. Which was I shot that in, I think last August, and it aired I think New Year's Eve. And then my special was Mouthful of Shame, which came out in 2017. So I have two things running on Netflix.
Perfect.
At Epix.
Hey,
and
dude.
I got to go because I have another call. I have a call I was supposed to do 5 minutes ago.
I'm so sorry for keeping you.
No, I'm loving this. The dad story, because the call is with it's not a fun call like this. It's just a call to go over fucking logistics.
Okay.
The dad story, I don't have a long one, but I remember that, like, my father, when I was in fourth grade, I had this crush, or fifth grade, this crush on this girl named Jill. And I loved her and I wanted to kiss her, and I didn't know how to kiss a girl. So I asked my father, how do I kiss her? And he said, here's what you do. Walk up and ask her if you can smell her breath. And I'm like, what? And he goes, ask her if you can smell her breath. So he told me to walk up and just ask her to go like, in your face. And then when she breathes in your face, to lean in and kiss her. And of course, I didn't do that because even at that age, I knew that was kind of assault. Even in fucking fifth grade, I knew my father was a fucking idiot. So yeah, that's my dad's story. That's my one bit of advice from my father. Smell her breath. Fucking serial killer.
I'm gonna try that. I'll try and get back to you. Hey, dude, thanks for even doing this at all.
Yeah,
if there's
sure, it's
anything, fun. Jim, seriously, anything you ever need from me, anybody in North Carolina, if you need anything, I'm your guy. Just let me know, okay?
Thanks, man. This was a lot of fun.
Likewise. Take it easy, buddy.
All right, brother. Take care. Be good.
Bye-bye.
Take another look and tell me that.
All right, thank you, Jim Norton, for zooming in. Very funny guy. And don't forget, you can check him out on TBS on Sundays at a thing called Tournament of Laughs. It's not actually him. He's playing a character called Chip Chipperson. But if you want to vote for him, give him a vote. Speaking of TBS, I teased you earlier with something. Told you I got fired for the first time ever in my life.
What?
Yeah, from the TBS network.
Really?
Speaking of TBS. All right, so it's technically not fired, but it kind of is if you think about it. All right, so I got a gig as a voiceover artist for a show called Celebrity Show Off on TBS. I just auditioned for it. I have a voiceover agent, and they send me auditions,
Yep.
And it says just read it in your phone and send it to us, and if they like it, we'll keep going from there. And I was reading this thing like, okay, so the idea is a bunch of celebrities make their own little funny packages at home. It's like a talent show. And they just send in the package, and then there's a host, Blossom, from Big Bang, Mayim Bialik or whatever. She was going to be the host of it.
Ah.
But they needed a voiceover person for the video packages that these celebrities were creating, okay? And so it was real simple. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. I don't think I'm right for it. Like, I don't know why they would choose me for this. It's not particularly country or Southern, and it's hard for me to get rid of this, whatever I sound like. This is me. But I'm like, sure, I don't want to disappoint my agent by not doing the audition. So I read for it, sent it in, thinking like, all right. And then like a day goes by, my manager's like, oh, they really love you. Can you read one more time? We got a different script. Can you do this? I'm like, yeah. Did it again. Day goes by. You got the part. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is great. I had no idea that I would get this part. I mean, it made no sense to me. But I'm like, you want to give me money, I'll take it. It's an easy gig. And I'm like, matter of fact, I don't have to read my phone. I have access to professional equipment. Perhaps you've heard of a guy named The Alan Jackson. He happens to have a studio right here in Hickory, North Carolina. We could use his studio. So I kind of hooked him up a little bit with this whole thing. Right? There he is.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, contracts were signed. Money was arranged. It was like, all right, we're going to need you for 10 episodes. You'll come in here. Well, I had a producer zooming in with me, directing me, like telling me, like, read it this way, read it that way. I read the first episode, and it went by pretty quick. Alan was in there recording, and I had the script right. I did it right here. I think it sounded great. And I actually said, well, did you like that? She's like, oh, yeah, that was fantastic. If you want to try a different way, you can. I'm like, okay. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is going too fast.
Oh, not enough takes.
Not enough takes, and I don't even know if she knows what they're looking for. You know what I mean? I was kind of suspicious of all of it, but like, whatever. I'm not in charge. I'll do what you say. That's how you take direction. So anyway, and then we're done. A day goes by, I didn't hear anything. A day goes by, I didn't hear anything. A third day goes by, I'm like, they should have it. Normally at this time, at this point in time, any kind of gig that you get, someone is freaking out going like, oh, we need you to do that again. I mean, because it's never right the first time.
Yep.
And I'm like, there's no way I nailed that the first time. And I'm not hearing anything. So now I'm getting worried. And my manager calls me up. He's like, yeah, so someone at the TBS network, the higher up at the network, just decided to go a different direction. I'm like, so they're not going to use you anymore. But they have to pay me for the one thing I did.
Yeah.
So that's not me not getting a part. This is me getting the part.
And then get fired.
And then getting fired from the part. So now I have street cred. I have never been fired from anything. Oh, many times I've not gotten the part.
Yeah. But you did.
That's not getting fired.
You got the part and then got fired.
And then going, no, thank you. And then they never really tell you why.
Yeah.
But I was curious, so I texted her like, "What's going on?" And she didn't know anything. She was just I was corrected in my assumption that she's not in the decision making process. Yeah. She's just being told what to do from someone else. And it boils down to this: TBS, not TBS, the production company loved it. The other people involved with the production company loved it, but the network, they didn't know what they wanted. So when they were asking all these agents, submit your talent, we want to hear many different options for this. We just want to figure it out. Their first one that they wanted was Ross Matthews. Do you know who Ross Matthews is? Alan?
Is he on the Chelsea?
Yes.
Yeah, back in the day.
He sounds like this.
Yes. Yeah.
So if that's what they wanted to begin with and they ended up with me, that means they don't know what they're looking for.
They don't.
They're all over the map. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, some guy just pulled the plug, and I don't know who they went with. But when they sent us the actual video clip of what it should sound like, like an example, the guy that the in-house guy was perfect. I even told Alan, like, I don't get why they're hiring me. The guy that they sent as an example is perfect. I cannot make it better than him. Anyway, it's just one of those weird things, dude. One of them weird things, right, Alan?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Sorry about that. I got your hopes up. We had you a Hollywood gig.
It's all
Yeah.
right. It's all good.
He's like, I
Easy
don't
come,
care.
easy go.
Yeah. All right. Well, look.
But we're not watching TBS any longer, except for Jim's.
Except for
Jim's show.
Chip Chipperson. I'll
Yeah,
vote for him.
That's it.
That's
I'm
it.
not watching any old Blossom reruns
No,
anymore.
I did say they loved you. They just went a different direction. They never tell you
They
suck.
loved you. That's
Yeah.
what you're good. That's what the women tell you too. They're
Right.
like, it's not
It's
you.
not you. It's me.
It's me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they always say.
Yeah. I had
It's
to get
same
my
thing.
hair done this weekend. I can't hang out. You know. It's always.
I mean, I really like you. I'm just so busy. I have to rearrange my sock drawer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hectic weekend.
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals. But let's end on something positive. One of our favorite segments, one of the most popular segments on the show. People write in about this all the time. You know what we do? We go out there. I love your instincts.
We're just small town dudes with small town news, breaking stories of crimes committed you never do. Mind your P's and Q's or they'll cover you. The town may be small, but the news is huge.
All right. You know the idea. Random stories from all over the place. And this one caught my eye today. And by the way, it's a tough time with the news. There's a lot of other things going on in the news. And so it's hard to find these segments now. So we're not really worried if it's actual small town. We just like interesting, weird stuff. We're calling it small town news. So don't be a stickler for the rules, is what I'm saying. I'm going to read you the headline.
Okay.
And then we'll have Alan play it. And then we'll talk about it. Where did it go? Here we go. Bing, bing, bing. All right, I'm going to read this to you. Louisiana man faces charges for swimming in sporting tank goods store fish tank. That's great. Of course, Louisiana. So apparently some guy jumped. Let me just read this to you. The suspect told reporters he plunged into an indoor aquarium at a Bass Pro Shop in Bossier City. That's right outside of Shreveport, right next to Shreveport. Celebrating getting 2,000 likes on TikTok.
That's what he did it for.
Yeah. So this dude apparently, like his followers, he said, if I get 2,000 likes, I'll do some crazy thing, right? Police in Louisiana were able to reel in Police in Louisiana were able to reel in a man captured on video swimming through a fish tank at a sporting goods store. Kevin Wise, 26-year-old, he told the TV station that he plunged into the indoor aquarium at a Bass Pro Shop last week to follow through on a promise he made to followers on the social media platform TikTok. He goes, I said if I got 2,000 likes, I would jump in the tank. I got way more than that, and I didn't want to be a liar. Well, I like that he was a man of his word.
Fall through.
Yeah. A video captured by a shopper, Treasure McGraw. We got to look up these people at some point. We got to look up this dude. What did I just say? Kevin Wise? Is that what I said? Yeah. Kevin Wise. We got to look this dude up. Remember that. And we got to look up Treasure McGraw. I like that name.
Treasure.
What a great name, Treasure McGraw. So a video captured by shopper Treasure McGraw showed Wise, the dude, swimming through the tank before climbing out and running from the store with wet clothes. We heard a big splash, and I thought it was one of the fish, McGraw told the news outlet. My fiance was like, somebody's in the tank, and we saw the guy swimming. Bass Pro Shops filed a complaint with Bossier City Police Department Friday saying it cost them money to have to empty out the 13,000-gallon aquarium and clean it after Wise went swimming in it. And I'll read the end of it later. Let's watch the video. Check this dude out in this aquarium.
He's talking about, I don't know. Oh, my God.
You see the fish?
Yeah.
Look how big that aquarium is.
OMG.
Yeah, I've seen these aquariums before
Lord.
at the Bass Pro Shop.
Okay, he's getting out. Lord, I thought he was drowning. What the fuck happened?
Oh my gosh. Oh, we gotta watch that again. So before he plays that, oh, he's running.
This is interesting.
Okay, that's it. Get ready to play it again, but yeah, go ahead.
So, do you go to Bass Pro Shops?
I have not. I've only been to a
don't
Bass
know.
Pro Shop maybe 3 times in my 48 years
Okay.
of existence, and I have been to this one.
That one?
Yes.
You actually have been to that one?
I have for a TV show I did, a pilot called Killin' and Grillin',
Oh, I remember that show.
and a guy. Part of the segment was we got to get you, countryed up a little bit. You've been in
Yeah.
Hollywood too long. We're gonna take you here,
Yeah.
and we did, and we went there. And those places, they're like their own mall.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're nice. They're
Super nice.
huge.
They got boats and everything inside there. But I remember seeing these aquariums, thinking, "That's a nice swimming pool."
Oh, you've had this
I
thought.
had thought, but
Yeah. I mean, in itself, as a child, had my parents taken me there, I wouldn't need to go anywhere else.
yeah.
There's so much to do at a Bass Pro Shop. We have aquariums where you can see, aquatic life. Well, there's one right there
Yeah.
at a hunting store.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how big they are.
yeah.
But yeah, so this is something I may have done at that age. A 26-year-old John Reap could have been talked into this move right here. So I can't hate on this guy too much.
I'm pretty sure 40-some-year-old John Reap has been talked into a few things. I mean,
This is true.
You got a mullet. You took your shirt off a few times. You've got a perm to look like Prince.
That's
right. Can we keep on going?
I mean, the Carolina Reaper was on the table.
The Carolina Reaper's on the table. You've done quite a bit of stuff.
You're right.
I
I guess the difference. Good call.
Yeah.
I'm yes-anding you. Yes. But I think the difference now is a 48-year-old John knows his physical limitations. And he has a little bit more to lose if he gets sued.
Yeah.
A 26-year-old John's gotten that to lose and is very healthy and can swim and is not worried about that.
Yeah.
A 48-year-old John with a little money in the bank and a bad back. I got more to lose. But
This guy was struggling on the swimming, it looks like to me, don't it, Alan? Didn't he look like he was struggling a little bit? Look at him.
he did.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I think, yeah. I bet you it was
OMG.
harder than he thought it was
Yeah, I
going to
think
be.
he did.
Lord.
'Cause he
Okay,
said,
he's getting
"Ooh."
out. So I thought
He's
he was
kicking.
drowning.
What the fuck happened?
It is hard to swim with shoes on.
Oh.
So this dude, for those of you just listening to the podcast, he's got what looks to be Vans,
Yeah.
This is
khaki shorts,
interesting.
and a black T-shirt. And he's got brown hair and a beard. But I don't know. I learned when I went to Camp Bud Shield
I've been there.
as a Boy Scout.
Yep.
It's hard to swim in shoes.
Yeah, because they make you take a life
They
saving.
make you do the whole merit badge, the aquatic one or something. And we also learned how to make a life jacket out of a pair of pants.
Yeah.
But I bet you this guy
You'll
didn't
blow-
have no knowledge of that.
Probably didn't.
Because you could, the way he was kicking there at the end,
He got nervous.
he thought he would get to the end quicker with that one kick.
Yeah.
Had a couple desperate kicks in there. That's great. But yeah, so that was for TikTok. Now we have to look up this dude, and I hate this. I hate that I'm going to reward him, but I'm curious as to what he looks like and how many followers he has on TikTok now.
And what kind of TikToks is he doing?
Right. What's getting over 2,000 likes? I mean, I get 2,000 likes. I mean, I'm on TikTok, and I've got 35,200 followers on TikTok. Most of my videos, when I do something, get around 1,000, 2,000 likes. And it's just me posting episodes of the podcast, really. So, but I'm going to look up this dude real quick. Kevin, look at him. Wise. Okay, let's see what happens. I wonder if he's verified. If he's verified, I'm going to be mad. Oh, dude, he's got 2,130 followers. Less than me. But look, maybe this is the video.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That's him.
For 2,000 likes, I'll jump in this bitch and go swimming with the fishes.
Okay.
All right, TikTok, do what you do. All right, TikTok, I'm about to do something crazy.
Oh, that's it. So he said, I'm about to do something crazy. And it's him at the Bass Pro Shop.
And then he does something crazy.
Alan, I don't know if you can look up TikTok videos without being on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know
but
how that works.
You probably can't see it if I hold it up to the camera. But this is what he says.
All right, TikTok. I'm about to do something crazy. Just make this go viral, all right?
It kind of looks like my son Tucker would do. This is something Tucker would do. Yeah, so you just see him there. This is before he jumped in the tank. I wonder if you could do that. It's interesting. Yeah, TikTok's probably just wants you to be on a cell phone. But, yeah, I'm happy to announce that he has less followers than me. This is great.
Yeah. And he has got a court date next month.
And he's got a court date. Oh, yeah. Well, let's oh, now I want to look up Treasure McGraw. I guess that's the lady who was making the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if she's on Facebook, I wonder if there's actually more video than what we got. Treasure McGraw, yeah, it's just got her news story on here. She probably don't. You know, a lot of younger people aren't on Facebook anymore. They just go straight to Instagram or TikTok. So, Treasure, if you ever hear this, holler at me. You too, Kevin Wise. Would like to get a follow-up. And, you know, according to Kevin's TikTok, it didn't do that well. Like, it didn't really pay off. That video got 2,775 likes.
So wonder what it's going
But he's only got 2,130 followers. So people liked it but didn't follow him.
Yeah. So wonder what it's going to cost Kevin for the cleaning bill.
Oh, shit. Yeah, let me read you the rest of the story here. There's more. I didn't read you.
'Cause I'm curious at how much is he paying per like?
Oh, yeah, we can do that math.
We can do the math.
Okay. So they had to clean out this tank, right? 13,000 gallon aquarium. They had to clean it. And he was charged with simple criminal damage to property and released with a citation to appear in court. He told the TV station he planned on continuing to make videos for his followers, but cautioned others against doing similar spur-of-the-moment pranks. So they had to clean it because of COVID. I mean, this dude could have had COVID and killed the fish. I guess you could give it to fish. Right? I've never heard of them. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You got to get the water just right for the fish, especially those fish.
You have a pH balance with that,
pH
I'm
balance,
sure.
right.
Which I can imagine, 13,000 gallons. They probably redone all the water. Then they had the pH. 13,000 gallons. That's what that's like a swimming pool. What's it? Cities?
Yeah.
It's probably what, 2 cents a gallon.
Yeah, I'm reading the YouTube video too. It says a guy went for a swim, Bass Pro Shop fish tank. He left behind his corona mask. He had a coronavirus mask and his hat. So his hat and his mask was left in the tank.
Oh.
So apparently, yeah, I guess that would be one of the reasons you got to clean it. I mean, he was only in there for 30 seconds at the most. Yeah, I wonder how much it's going to cost him, because it didn't really give you a price. It just said simple criminal damage to property, so whatever that is, plus the cleaning bill.
It's going to cost $3 or $4 grand, probably. It has to.
You know, this kid ain't making that kind of money.
He's going to be paying payments on that TikTok.
Well, Kevin, look, I'm not hating on you. Like I said, it's something I would have done at your age. If you ever end up watching this, zoom in sometime. We'll get you some more likes. Maybe we'll do a duet on TikTok.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, me and Kevin Wise. I'll jump into my pool. You jump into an aquarium. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll match him. I'll just jump in with the same outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll duet that and mock it somehow. That'd be great. All right.
Oh,
well, there you go. The town might be small,
but
the news was huge. All righty. I think we had a good time up in here. Did you have a good time today, Mr. Sebastian?
Absolutely.
Alan, did we do good?
Russia with love.
You did great. It was fun.
All right. Well, as always, I try to remind you guys to check out my website. If you go to johnreap.com, you can see, you can go to the podcast from there. I still have Ginger Beard Man. that you could watch on Amazon Prime right now. It's free for Amazon Prime members. My comedy special, Ginger Beard Man, still available. We've got my YouTube channel, Country-ish links. You can still check out my album, Ginger Pain. You can get merchandise, tour dates. I think my next gig is going to be in Washington, D.C. Can you believe that? Yeah, Washington, D.C., July 23rd, 24th, 25th, the Comedy Loft, D.C. Comedy Loft. Also, what can I tell you? I'm on TikTok. I'm doing cameos. All of it. That's it. All right. Well, for the Alan Jackson, for Sebastian, I'm John Reap. Bicycle.
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back, but I wouldn't know that I'm from a cul-de-sac. Don't chew tobacco and I don't smoke crack. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, a simple kind of life, never did me no harm, but I do know a guy with only one arm. Keep your fancy smartphones and your self-parked cars. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, I got a podcast that'll make you giggle. It ain't number one, it's right in the middle. The town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for Country-ish. Go on, dude. I'd make a new show every day if I could, but my friends have jobs and they pay pretty good. Record when we can, work when we should. It's time for Country-ish. Well, I don't care what your skin looks like, just love everybody and we'll be alright. Listen to the show every Friday night. It's time for Country-ish. Well, I got a podcast, it'll make you giggle. It ain't number one, it's right in the middle. My town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for Country-ish. Don't you?
What a great time. You have a good one now.